So it's affect directly to yourself, to your score sheet, I would say, and in the long term, I think it's affect to your final score at the graduation.
Sawadee. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Very warm welcome all of you to this talk show or podcast episode 4, which will introduce you to people and ideas which will help to explode and share well in your education. You're here with me, Oyon Louangxay, and our special guest, Mr. Oyon Louangxay. Sawadee. Especially, he's a former LAC student, graduated in business administration, receiving bachelor degrees. And today, he's here with us to share you with the topic, how to survive from LAC. Alright guys, first of all, let him introduce himself more.
Good evening everybody, my name is Oyon Louangxay, or you can call me Dick. I'm 26 years old. I am a former LAC student, graduated business administration.
What comes to your mind when people mention the word LAC?
Wow, so first of all I would like to thank to this question. If you ask me about what comes to my mind if somebody just mentioned LAC, so for me, I think in my mind now it is about active students, professional instructors, and the last one is the international standards of curriculum. Yeah.
Okay, as you mentioned, you graduated receiving bachelor degrees.
Yep.
You quite did well as
Actually,
according to your profile, right?
Okay, yeah.
Now, how would you recommend us, especially the freshmen, with your tips on how to do well in the colleges, especially LAC?
First of all, I would like to define the nature of LAC students. As we know that all of us just come here with the one goal to accomplish, just to graduate, right? But the process is different. Some students just come here because they trust and they believe in the school, so they try to work hard on that to get a good result, a golden key, and enjoy the effort. But some students just come here to develop their skills, both English and business mind, because they are working people, they have limited time to study. And the last one is just some students that will put their parents to come here, so they don't care much about the results. Just to get over 69% or 70%, that's okay for them. I think to survive from LAC, I would like to recommend you need to have some factors and characteristics combined together. So for me, I think it's a combination of a lot of things. For the factors, I mean family is the most important, who will push you to be here. And the second is budget, which will allow you to be sitting and studying here. And the third one is environment. Imagine if you come to this school, you will be surrounded by a lot of good students who can speak English very well, and the strict teacher. So you need to adjust yourself to apply to this school. And the fourth one is the curriculum. As we know, LAC, they apply a tough curriculum, and it's not easy to overcome each term, so you need to realize that. And the last one, I mean, you need to realize about the instructors, because they will expect a lot of performance from you. So your data or information that you do the research should be really realistic. Out of those factors, your characteristic is also important. I would prefer brave. You need to be brave when you study here. You need to be fearless to share your opinions. Second is ambitious, so which is inspire you to reach your goal. And punctual. That is important. I used to have some experience about come to school late, and the instructor cannot allow me to get into the class, so I get 20 points deducted. That is a bad experience ever. And the fourth one is hardworking. As I said at the moment, the teacher or the curriculum is quite tough to beat them up. So you need to work hard on that. You need to pay more attention on that. So I think hardworking is also important. So lastly is patient. Rich or poor doesn't matter here in this case. So for my friends study here, they've taken about 8 years to graduate. So you mean how much patient, how patient they were at that time to be waiting for graduation.
Wow.
So I don't think study here is easy, but it's not too difficult if you just practice yourself and be more prepared and pay more attention about it. I think everything is possible.
What's the most challenging session that you're dying for each term?
I think it's the group final project, because when you just heard about the word group work, so you just cannot do anything about the group work, the whole work. I mean, because when they say the group work and they just only me to do that, and the other just help a little bit. So that is the problem. But I'm not saying that I'm good at doing a group work, but all of the tasks just be holded by my chest. So that's the problem, and I feel so unhappy about it. Yeah.
Are you a type of student who usually hits the deadline?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes, but actually I manage my times quite well because I like planning, I like schedule, but just sometimes.
Yeah, also a lot of things are very harmful to students, like they procrastinate all the time. They think in their mind that they always have time to do the project or to complete the project in 1 day or 2 days, but it's actually not, right? Have you ever procrastinated?
I would say yes, but it's sometimes like I said, because we expect that we can do that at least in 1 or 2 days, but actually is spend a lot of time to do, and when you just do in 1 or 2 days, the result is quite weak. Just like the comments from the commentator when they listen to your presentation. I think that's the bad effect that you think like that. But for me, just sometimes that I feel procrastinate.
What's your perspective on the issue between education and entertainment at the same time?
That's a good question. I think it's not a bad idea to pay attention to education during entertainment as well, but it depends on your balance, how you can manage your time. And I don't say that paying more attention with the entertainment is wrong, but if you know the limit and you organize yourself well, I mean your schedule or your timetable, I think that's okay. That's not the problem. I think everybody here, they just pay attention with the education as well as entertainment at the same time.
So when people entertain, when they go out and hang out, so of course it affects to their school and attendance, right?
Right.
So what's your attitude on the school attendance?
I would like to say that when we come to school and you're just tired, right? Because you just hang out yesterday, and the day after you just come to school. I think it's not a good behavior to do that, because when you feel out after you just hang out, you don't want to study anymore.
Yeah.
So you want to sleep, you want to take the rest. For me, I don't think it is a good idea to do that.
As I've heard, that some students not only hang out, they have some work to complete, and then it affects to their time, it affects to their time management in anything, and so that it leads them to be absent from classes.
Yes, correct. And this is lead you to, I think, tragic. It's quite a bad situation when you just paying attention with something, and then you just skip the class. So it's affect directly to yourself, to your score sheet, I would say, and in the long term, I think it's affect to your final score at the graduation.
How did you balance it between work and study?
I used to do that. I was working when I think when I was in year 4. So how to balance this? Again, let's say it's about the managing time. So if you just understand your task and you have the good plan. For me, for example, I will give you an example. I realized myself that I have a class for this term and I have some work to do at the same time, and I just write a letter to my CEO that after 4:30 I have the class to take. So he just approved that, okay, I allow you to go to school at 4:30. So that is my way that I practice, and I have done that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's very good idea.
Yeah.
That's very good recommendation
Yeah.
for the students who also work and study at the same time, like me.
Yep.
Yeah. So, so now let's go to the last question.
Yep.
What's your ideal message for the students who do that?
I think surviving in LAC is all about taking all advantages that you have to overcome all subject each term. Okay, for me, if you have something that you think that is your advantages, so you need to pull them out and just spend that. I think it's not a bad idea to work as hard as possible to pass each term, but just keep doing that for me. Just keep doing that and pay more attention what you're supposed to do. I think you can achieve the goal, but you will get a good result or bad result. It depends on your practice.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah. Okay, alright guys, as you may see, this guy is just as powerful as he is.
Thank you.
All the experience and ideas are here for you to utilize in your study. And lastly, let us thank you with the whole heart for watching. Here, the Lao-American College. Study locally, think globally. See you next time. Till then, take care.